Discuss about the SDLC, software testing life cycle. So previously in the class we have discussed about software development life cycle. In today's class we are going to discuss software testing life cycle. So as I mentioned you before, so in the software field, so we are having the life cycle to develop any project. So for testing any project also we having a life cycle. So life cycle is nothing but a sequence of steps we are following as per the standards. So for previously I have told you for the human being we having the life cycle, for tree also we having the life cycle. Similarly here also we having the life cycle on which stage what we have to perform. So here it is we can say that the life cycle is nothing but a sequence of action conducting during the testing process. While we are processing the testing, what are the steps to be taken care and which steps should be executed first. So everything we have to take care in this SDLC. Okay. So here also we having the different phases. So what are the different phases we having here is in SDLC we having requirement phase, analyzing phase, designing phase, coding phase, testing phase and maintenance phase. So coming to STLC here we having the requirement and analyzing phase. So why we both combined here? So in the STLC, we have collect the requirement, we have analyzed the requirement. So here for the testing requirement, so in SDLC, the requirement for developing the total project. So here STLC, the requirements which they have collected and which is needed for the testing process, we are going to be taking care that requirements. Okay. And next phase is test plan phase. So test plan phase is nothing but we having the requirement. We have analyzed the requirement. So which one should be used first? So we have to analyze that one. So that is nothing but the analyzing phase. So we have analyzed that one, and next one we have to prepare a test plan. So why we need to prepare a test plan? So suppose if you want to do any work, you will prepare a plan. So if you want to go to outing, you will prepare a plan that in which route I have to go and where I have to catch some XYZ vehicle, and what should I cover first, what should I cover later. You will prepare a plan, roadmap. You can say that. Here also, while we are testing any applications, we are going to performing a test plan. So test plan, what are the activities we are going to be performed, we will see later. Uh, Next phase is test case development phase. So what is test case development phase? So test plan is nothing but a sequence of steps which we are going to be following to complete our task. So that is nothing but the test plan. So here in the test plans, what we are going to do here means in the test plans, we are going to plan the resource, we can plan the budget, testing budget, we can plan, and we can plan the objectives, what is the scope of this project, what are the uh, hardware requirements, what are the software requirements which we need for the testing, and tools for the testing, tools for the automation testing, whether it is feasible to automate the testing or not. So we will plan it. So test case designing means, so test case is nothing but a step of actions which we are going to be performed to complete our task. So I want to log into one application. So what are the test steps I will do? Log into the application. So what are the steps I will follow? First I will open browser. I will open browser. Then I will enter username. Then I enter password. Then I click on login button. So these are the steps. So what result I'm expecting? What result I'm expecting here? expected result, what is expected? It should successfully log into the application. These are the steps. So we will develop the test cases. So this is called as a test cases. So what action we are performing, this is going to be called as a scenario, or in manually sometimes we will call as a feature, or we can call as a test case description. A test case description we can call it. So this opening the browser, entering name, entering password, click on login button, this all are called steps. This 4 parts is going to be called as a steps. This is a step 1, step 2, step 1, step 2, step 3, this is step 4. So these all are the steps. So steps is nothing but a step of action which we are going to perform to complete our task. So actual result. So we will get the actual result and expected result. So what is actual result? So whenever we are performing the actions, so I have opened this application. Mhm. Just give me. This application server may be down. Let's open Facebook. Opening just. So here I'm giving the correct username. Suppose I'm giving the correct username, and here I'm giving the correct password, for example. So whenever I'm clicking on this sign in button, what I am expecting here, it should log in successfully as per the expectation result. But I have given the wrong details. So here what it is giving, so the account is not exist with this name, and the password is also incorrect. So what it is giving, it is giving us a message that the password you have entered is incorrect. So actual result, whenever we are performing some actions, so if it is giving correct, here it is giving invalid. So here what we can say, that the expected result and actual result both are not matching. So we can say that our test case has been failed. The result is failed. The result is failed. If both are same, I can say that my result is pass. So we can write the test cases like this. And we can design the test cases in different ways. We can design the test cases as positive test cases. We can design positive test cases. We will write it. We will write the negative test cases. And we will write the GUI test cases, or cosmetic test cases we will write, and we will write some validation test cases. If we need, if some companies is checking the backend also, they will write the uh, test cases related to um, database set. Some companies are performing the performance testing also, they will write the performance based test cases also. So we are going to be writing the different types of test cases. So here, while developing the test cases, we will follow the different types of test cases, which is designed to check the functionality, whether the functionality is working fine as per expectations or not. We are going to be checking that functionality. That is nothing but the test case development. So once the test case is developed, then what we need? So I have prepared a plan. I have what to do. I have, suppose you want to join the classes. So you have collected the information from XYZ consultancy, and you have selected uh, a trainer, and you have planned the trainer, or you have planned to start the classes from particular date. Everything is set up. Then they have so classroom as set up. uh, they want to start the class. So they want to start the class, what they need? They need a classroom. Or if I giving the online training, I need a online applications. So I need to set up the environment to take my classes without any issues. So for that purpose, I have to set the environment. So here also, whatever the test cases we have developed, the test cases should be executed in particular environment. So to execute that particular environment, we are going to be environment setup. So once the environment is set up, so everything is, I can say that the platform is ready to process my work. So once it was completed, then what I have to do? Have to start executing the test cases. So I have to perform the test cases. Whatever the test cases I have written, I have to execute the test cases. Once I have executed all my test cases, what I need to do? I need to give the summary report. So why I need the summary report? So in your school days or in your college days, they will conduct the exams and they will give the final result. So here also, whatever the testing we have performed and what much percentage we have covered, what are the things we have covered, and how much percentage of test cases is passing, how much percentage of test cases is failing, how much percentage of test cases we have skipped. So everything we are going to be maintaining in the test closure. Sometimes it is called as a test postmortem also. So it is a final report which is going to be given to the client, what we have covered. So that is nothing but the test closure. So these 6 steps we are going to be followed in the testing. So what we will do in the requirement phase? So in the development phase also, who is going to be involved, we have discussed about. And here also we are going to be requirement and analyzing phase. So what we will do in this requirement and analyzing phase? So when we will start the requirement and analyzing phase, when we will start when we enter and when we exit in this phase, means if we follow the waterfalls model, we will start after the development. But nowadays we are following the agile methodology. In agile methodology, what we are going to do as a tester means, we are going to be involving from the starting till the end of the project. So what is agile methodology? We will cover that one later. And first phase is a requirement phase. So in requirement phase and analyzing phase, what we will do? Whatever the requirement, the development in the development phase, we have collected and we have analyzed that requirement, and we will view and identify the testable requirements. So what are the testable requirements we need for the QA team? And QA team will interact with the different stakeholders, and they will understand the requirements. So who is the stakeholders here? The client is a stakeholder, the developer is a stakeholder, the end user is a stakeholder, the UI developer is a stakeholder. So whatever the requirements, they as per their requirement, their need, whether it is sufficient for me to test that one or not. We will analyze that one, and we will check what are the functional requirement, what are the non-functional requirement, and which is feasible, which is not feasible for the testing. Everything we will decide, and we will start working on that requirements. So what are the activities we are going to be performed here? So first one, identifying the testing to be performed. So here, what are the identifications we are going to be performed here means, I told you, first one, we will, whenever we are writing the test cases, we will decide as per the functionality testing, we will do this four types of testing. For the non-functionality types, we are going to be performing these two types of testing. So functionality testing, coming to the functionality testing, what we are going to do? We are going to testing the positive testing, negative testing, cosmetic testing, validation testing we are going to be performing. And coming to the non-functional testing, we are going to cover the DB testing and performance testing. Next one, gather the detail about the testing priorities. So in the testing priorities, we will gather all the requirements. So what are the requirements we need? We will gather all the requirements which having more functionality is covering. So sometimes we will raise the bugs. Suppose here in this application only, I'm not able to click on this login button. So if I'm not able to log into the application, so what, I can't able to test the further information. So that's why what I can do, I'm going to testing a functionality which is blocking, which is not blocking for me. I have to test the functionality. So it should execute all my functionality without blocking my application, without blocking my flow of that application. So for that purposes, what I am going to do, I'm checking the different types of high priority bugs, low priority bugs, minor bugs, major bugs. Some major bugs, basically UI changes, alignment is a mistake, or some word spelling is mistake, word color is different. That type of bugs we are going to be gathering. Then we will prepare a requirement traceable matrix, so RTM report. So what is mean by RTM report? So RTM requirement is the requirement, this document is given by the project manager, requirement traceable matrix. So project requirement. So here, this is the document which is consisting of project will have the name, on what day the project is going to be start, uh, what day the project is going to be start, who is the project manager. So here the requirements, so whatever the requirements, login to the applications, whatever the who asked this requirement, requested by the dev team or requested by the UI team, who is the team, what is the categories, and what is the high priorities and low priorities we having, what is the high priorities and low priorities we having, what is the criteria of testing, whether it is important to accept it, whether it is not important to perform the activities, is there any complexity is there for this application, how, what is the scope, everything is going to be maintained in this requirement template matrix. If And they will give some definitions if they want any definitions, useful resources. So what is the project management template, top 10 business requirements, and issues logged. What are the issues we are going to be logged when the project is going to be end, and what in the ending time, what are the reports we are going to be sharing to the stakeholders, what is the risk of this projects, and everything is maintained here. So breakdown, work breakdown, is there any problem, we can't able to continue this work. Sometimes in that applications we can't able to test 100%. So I told you, in there is no project in the world till now which has 100% bug relief. So we are not going to perform that functionalities, we are not going to we are not going to able to test that functionalities. So that breakdown sections we are going to be maintained. So this requirement template matrix is going to be prepared by your QA managers, and they will take care of these things. QA delivery managers, high level managers, peoples will take care of this RTM. In the interview also they will ask whether you have performed in creating the RTM. If you, based on your experience, you can say that mostly the high level peoples is going to be preparing these things. So deliverables, what are the deliverables we are going to be giving? RTM and automation feasible also. In the requirements only we will collect the tool which is need which tool is going to be used for the automation purpose. And test plan phase. So test plan phase, here in the test plan is the phase which the senior QA manager determine the test strategy along with the effects and the cost estimation of the project. And test environment, test limitations, and test schedule, and also determinations. So test plan is a prepared as a as finalized. Uh, so once it has prepared, it will be the finalized. So we have to follow as per its standards only. So first one here, what are the activities we are going to be taking? Preparing the test plan, test strategy documents, and the various types of testings. What are the various types of testings we are going to be follows? So we having four types of testing here: unit testing, system testing, uh, integrational testing, acceptance testing. So which one has to follow first? So acceptance testing we have to follow, or we have to follow UI testing, we have to follow uh, system testing. So what type of testings we have to follow, and what are the tools we have to go we have to use, and what is the cost estimations if we have used any licensed tools? So what is the estimations if we used free tools? So whether we are getting the profit or not, or whether we are able to with the free tools or not, we have to analyze it. Resource planning and roles and responsibility for this resource. If training is required, we have to give the trainings. Deliverables of the test plans. So here we will prepare a test plan report and cost estimation report. So test plan I will explain in a separate topic. So what is the test plan, what is the test strategy, we will discuss these topics in the upcoming classes. And the third phase is test case development phase. So in test case development phase, we involve in the creating of the test case. So I have told you, so we are going to be writing the test cases. So I'm not here, I have written only one test cases while designing for a one application. So I have told you, so for this requirement I can write maximum 4 test cases. So log in this test cases. So I can write another test cases. I can give a scenario, validate with invalid data, valid data of login application. First step 1, just open browser. So this will be the same. Enter invalid username, enter, invalid password, button. So what I'm expecting here, it should give as invalid credentials. Has to give a message like invalid credentials. It has to give. Similarly, I can pass it valid username, invalid password. Then it has to pass invalid password. It has to pass whenever I'm giving blank. It has to give me please entered required fields, mandatory fields, please enter the mandatory fields, like that it has to give. So I will write a number of test cases based on my requirement. What type of functionality I want to check, I will write. For that particular functionality, I'm going to be writing a number of test cases. Okay. So here what we are going to be providing, first creating the test cases. If we using automation tools, we will create the automation script. Our project is manually, so we no need to write the automation scripts. If we are working for the automations, we have to write the automation review the based on the test cases and the scripts. So reviewing is also important. Sometimes what happened, first the application is going to be developed. After sometimes the application has been little bit changed due to some new functionality added, or existing functionality they want to remove it. So at that time we have to validate our test cases whether we have written our test cases correctly or not. And test data is also important. So I want to log in. If I don't know correct username and password, I can't able to log into the application. So that's why I need the correct test data also. So here what are the deliverables we are going to be providing is, we are going to be providing the test cases and test scripts, and the test data we are going to be providing. And next one, test environment setup. So test environment setup is nothing but I'm going to be setting the environment. So here the environment, deciding the softwares and whatever the hardwares we are needed for the testing, and if any criteria of accepting the testing process can be done parallelly. If we want to execute our test cases parallelly, so test case development phases. So for executing of our test cases in nowadays, if we are using the Selenium, we can run with the Selenium grid, we can run with the Jenkins. So which tools we are needed, so that type of activities, and the team can be involved in what type of activities. So manual workers will work on the manual manual part. So manual testers, what they need, they are going to be testing the applications, they are going to be writing the test cases in Excel. So they are going to be using that one. If they are want to use test management tools, what the test management tools they need, like Rally, Jira, any test management tools they are needed. So here they will set up the environment, and understanding the requirement of architectures, environment setup, and preparing the selecting the hardware and software, um, and they will perform the testing. Deliverables environment is ready to with the setup data, and we can perform the smoke testing. So what is the smoke testing, we will see later. Test case execution phase. I have taken the Jira, for example. So if I have taken the Jira, in Jira, I have to execute my test cases. So how to execute my test cases? I will prepare it. So testers, what in this phase the testers will carry out the testing is performed on the based on the test plan, based on the test case preparations. So whatever the test cases I have written, I should execute in particular applications. If I have using automations, I have to run my regression suite. If I want to perform the manual, if I want to check the basic functionality, I can work for the smoke testing. So here whatever the test cases I have written, I have to execute as per my plan, and the documentations we can prepare. So how many test cases uh, have executed, is there any bugs is there, and how in my execution how many test cases are passed, how many test cases are failed. I can map the defects with the RTM. So in the requirement template also, in the scope of testing, so there we are facing that problem, and we can mention that problem in our um, basically we will use Jira. In the Jira also we can mention. And test deliverables, what are the test deliverables? A complete execution of RTM we are going to be providing, and test case update, and if any bugs are there we are going to be giving that bug report also. And the final one is test closure. So test closure is nothing but it is a complete test execution which is involved in the several steps of activities. It is a complete from whatever the requirements we have collected, and what type of testings we have performed, whether we have performing the smoke testing, whether we have performed the regression testing, whether what type of testings we have performed, everything is going to be maintained here. Here the testing team will discuss and analyze the artifacts to identify the criteria that has to be implemented in future. So if they anyone they want to improve their quality, what are the steps should be taken, what are the steps they have taken, and everything they will discuss, and finally they will give a test closure report. So in this test closure, what are the activities they are going to be performing, complete life cycle of the criteria based time, cost, software resource, and preparing the test matrix based on the performance, documentation. So what we have completed in this one. So whenever we have written some test cases, how many test cases we have written, how many test cases we have completed, everything is going to be maintained here. And test deliverables and test matrix we are going to be maintaining. So this is the final phase where uh, where we are going to be taking a test closure, test matrix. We are going to be deliver this one. So this is all about the STLC. In the STLC, we are taking care of these things. So in the STLC, first phase is a requirement analyzing phase, test plan, test cases development, environment setup, test execution, test closure. So in each phase, so basically when you join as a fresher, first you are going to be working in the test case development phase. So once the development has been completed, then you will go for the test execution phase. So based on your performance, you can set up the environment also, which tool is basically this environment setup is also going to be performed by the QA leads, QA managers. Why? Because if you have not chosen the environment setup correct, there may be a problem. That's why they are going to be choosing correct platform. Okay. So we will back to our PPT. So we have discussed in this phase. So once we got the SRS document, and we will start analyzing the documents, and the test engineer will review this SRS document and identify uh, identify what to be tested, and they will prepare a review report document. So based on that review report document, they will send the review report document to the concerned person, QA lead or QA manager or BA will send a report. So here when we are performing the testing in that first project intimations in session. So project intimations, what do you mean by intimations? Means when the project is going to be start, at that time what are the steps should be taken care. So first my application is a login application, so I have to log in, then have to go inside and I have to perform the activities. So first I have to initializations, then have to study my document. I have to understand the functionality of that applications. Then we will prepare a test plan, then we will write the test cases, we will execute the test cases, we will produce the defects. If there are any defects, we will produce the defect reports, then we will perform the regression testing, and then when we analyze the scenario, then we will send this final reports. So this process we are going to be following. So test engineer will analyze the reports. If there is any bug reports is there, they will understand that bug reports and they will identify that bugs and they will report to the developer. The developer will work on that one and they will give that bug assign. Once we will assign that bugs to the developer will reassign to the tester. As a tester, you again need to test that bug is really fixed or not. If it is really fixed, you are going to be closing that bugs. So this process is going to be complete till the ending of fixing of that bug. So here what happened in here means, once the build we got it, it will go to the testing team. So that we will get to the testing team. So what the testing team do, once it is releasing to the testing team, the testing team will start testing. So they will directly not test these applications. uh, while before releasing to the production, what they will do means they will release in the ADE environment, or ADE environment is nothing but under development environment. They will give it and they will start working, then they will give in the QA environment, or some companies will directly give in the QA environment, some company will give ADE environment, some company this one is going to be called as a QA environment. So if it is stable, then they will give to stage environment. So the stage environment, what is mean by stage environment? In QA environment, only QA team is going to be testing. In stage environment, the QA team and uh, client is also going to be working on this environment. So once it is stable, then they will release to the prod environment. So in the prod and pre-prod environments, in the pre-prod is before releasing into the market, they will add some clients to this environment. They will going to be checking it is stable or not. Then once it is stable, then it is going to the prod environment. So prod environment, it is a stable environment which we are going to be call it as a live environment. Okay, this like this the testing process is going on continuing. So thank you guys. Today we have discussed about the SDLC, and tomorrow class we will see other topics. Thank you guys.